On every Zoom mentoring session, casual walk and talks, or coffee shop chats, one topic seems to dominate the conversation: attracting and retaining top-tier talent, those illustrious A players. These individuals who excel, lead by example, achieve big goals, and bring massive growth to any organization. If you're a leader or entrepreneur, attracting these gems, keeping them loyal, and maximizing their potential is one of the most vexing parts of your job. And there's an excellent chance that you could have some improvement in doing so. Today, I want to tell you why it is so difficult and what to do about it. First, we must take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, why did you become an entrepreneur? Why did you decide to start your own business instead of joining a stable company where somebody else is carrying all the liability, risk, headache, stress, and problems? Knowing this path was wrought with pain, uncertainty, hazard, and potential peril. Why did you proceed anyway? Ask yourself, why? The answer I hear most often is, hell. My own answer to that vexing question is autonomy, freedom, and independence. I want to be left alone to just GSD it my way. I really don't take instruction from others well. I'm a rebel, an anti-conformist, and I don't follow well. I'm not saying these are good qualities. I'm only saying that these are the dysfunctional traits of most entrepreneurs. We are mostly unemployable, so we have to start our own damn thing, even though it is brutal and much harder. Now, I explain that to explain. The big mistake that we make when recruiting or leading A players is that we project what we want onto them. But what we want is not what they want. The way that we would want to be led is not the way that they want to be led. The bottom line is, A players don't aspire to or desire the same things that entrepreneurs yearn for. Our motivations differ dramatically. Let's use a metaphor, okay? As an entrepreneur, you are like a solo climber, one who values the solitude of scaling rugged, steep, and uncharted paths, relishing in the quietude and intense challenge that comes with it. But your A players, they're more akin to professional mountaineers seeking to summit Everest. Those mountaineers cherish the camaraderie of a climbing team and the shared adventure of succeeding together. They crave the guidance of expert Sherpas. They want a clear path and to know exactly what to expect. They want to be well prepared. They want a well-structured adventure. Along the way, they want clear markers and checkpoints so they know exactly where they are on the ascent at any given moment. Can you see the difference here, particularly in motivation and personality type? And you can see the mistake that you might be making in trying to lead them when projecting your personality, expectations, desires, and wants onto them. And when you try to give them what you would want and you project it onto them, it doesn't help. It actually hurts. When you give them autonomy, they perceive it as neglect, lack of attention, care, and appreciation. Surprisingly to you, A players seek accountability. The thought of being responsible for specific tasks, functions, and outcomes doesn't scare them. It motivates them. It is the antithesis of leaving them alone. A players relish knowing what is expected from them, how they can excel, and what success looks like, and the contribution that they make to the team and the company as a whole. When you give them independence, you disconnect them from their power source, the engagement and camaraderie of the team. When you give them freedom, you eliminate all their checkpoints, mile markers, and points of evidence of their progress. If you've ever seen A players' enthusiasm turn into frustration and their star-bright productivity dwindle into mediocrity, it's because what we perceive as freedom, A players often perceive as neglect, as inattention and disregard. A players want feedback, recognition, and accountability on their performance-based qualifiable metrics. This clarity lets them know where they stand, how they're progressing, and what they can do to improve. A players yearn for measurement. They thrive on dashboards of vital metrics and big goal accountability. They love seeing the visible evidence of their progress. A winning scoreboard is an A player's nirvana. And they like you seeing it too. They want you to know that they're winning, and they want you to acknowledge it publicly and often. You can see now, as an entrepreneur, this might have been perplexing you before, how your drive for freedom, independence, autonomy projected onto your A players might have unintentionally sabotaged the productivity of your most valuable players. But don't fret, Armed with these new insights, you can turn the tide and create an environment where your A players thrive. Attracting and retaining A players doesn't mean you have to surrender your entrepreneurial instincts. Instead, it's about acknowledging that these top performers march to a different drumbeat. In the end, it's about creating a harmonious symphony of success for everybody on your team. If you want more help of where to find and how to entice A players to your team, and then how to lead them more productively to draw out their very best, I encourage you to join us at our next Business Masterclass. One of the 3 days is devoted just to this, and it's where you will get all the tools that we talked about here: the recruiting, vetting system, the scorecard, the high performance dashboard, and all the components to build and maintaining a high growth culture and an environment where A players thrive. And in the comments below, share your great ahas or epiphanies that you discovered here today, either by what you learned about your A players or what you learned about what your leader is doing right or wrong for you as an A player on their team. And I look forward to reading your comments.